seems like after every event, people joke around and say, somebody sponsors Zain, look at the results he's getting. And back then I was a little bit hesitant to advocate for Zain, mainly because his social media wasn't quite there. And if we assume that Zain is like a top 25-ish player, he didn't really seem like the most marketable player. So it was really difficult to say, like, yeah, out of everybody that exists in Smash that's a free agent or or on a at the end of a contract, I would say, like, hey, Zain might be like an up-and-coming guy, but I don't really see the potential for marketability. But now we're at the point where I'm like, hey, you know what? Zain, actually, I think is a very marketable and sponsorable player, and his stock continues to rise. So if an esports team wants to buy low on a player, and ride on potential, I think Zain is a really good candidate for a team to pick up because he's a top 15 to 20 player now, and he has the potential to be like number 10 in the world within like the year. He can go up higher. I wouldn't say that he's going to be like a top 6 player and ascend to the ranks of the gods, but in terms of improvement curves, he's creeping up there. If you look back through history, 2015 was not ranked at all. In 2016, he finished the year at, I believe, 66. The following summer in 2017, his ranking was number 41. And then by the end of this year, he actually finished at number 22. So he went from 66 to 41 in a half a year. And in another half a year, he finished in 22nd. And even now, you can argue that he's continually improving up the ranks, that he's probably somewhere around the 15, 16, 14 ballpark in terms of if you were to rank and seed players today. Zain is right up there, and it's really impressive to see how much he's improved. And if you guys have listened to the Blur and I, we're big fanatics of improvement curves, and Zain passes every benchmark in terms of players that have a high potential to continue to improve. It seems like he hasn't really slowed down very much. And if we just walk through kind of his prominence in the national scene, Big House 6, just about a little over a year ago, he beat Plup, beat KGH, and that was his breakout tournament. And since then, he beat SVAT, he beat Shu, he beat Leffen. Some of the really good performances recently, second at Pat's House 3. He also finished second at Smash Valley 7, beating Abate, Swedish, Lucky, and KGH, and he only lost to Hungrybox that event. Finished at 9th at EGLX, lost to Crush, and overall his losses have been pretty respectable, although some may debate that one tournament where he got mollywopped by Captain Smuckers, that was kind of, bad for a top 10 contending player. But overall, I think Smuckers, to be fair, played really well that tournament. If you're looking at improvement curves and you're looking at getting a player that potentially has, top 8 potential, Zain is right up there. And granted, he hasn't quite hit that for the super majors, but the potential's there. And even his seeding's going to improve a lot because he's shown these results at the regional size events and some of the smaller majors. So in the end, his seeding's only going to get better. And, with a better bracket, I can really see him, make the top 8s. And granted, he did make top 8 at Super Smash Con a year ago. I think that's going to happen more often. So if you're a team looking for an upcoming player, very moldable, very nice, very family friendly, willing to learn and willing to grow, this guy's your guy. Now, granted, I've always advocated that you also have to have a social media game, and unfortunately, that's where Zain doesn't really excel. I think his Twitter has around like 5,500 followers the last I checked, and he doesn't really stream or produce content, so that could be a little bit of an issue. But I think there's some ways that you can market Zain, and you can run some ad campaigns that revolve around him. He overall seems like a guy that's pretty chill and willing to do pretty cool skits or whatever you want him to do. So, all in all, I have to wonder, is somebody eventually going to sponsor this man? Teams, he's free. He's a buy low right now, and you guys will get a lot of benefit from him. So sponsor this man.